The Foster's Cup quarter-final between Footscray and Adelaide. The Bulldogs unleashed a tall forward line on Melbourne to tear through the first round. With so much marking power, it'll take a committed backline to stop them. The Crows have had some fiery matches already at home, both in the Foster's Cup and in practice games. Tonight, they're in enemy territory. Good evening and welcome to Waverley Park in Melbourne for 7 Sports live and exclusive coverage of this third quarter-final in the Foster's Cup between Footscray and Adelaide. Well, the Bulldogs have been in great early season form and their supporters reckon that that's just the start of something big for season 1992. The Crows have also been in top form, but they venture away from Footy Park in Adelaide for the first time. They've played 3 practice games over there and a Foster's Cup game there. But they're in enemy territory as they come over to Waverley. It'll be interesting to see how they go, because in last year's first season in the AFL, they won just 3 of their 11 matches away from home. Well, the Crows will be hyped up after a practice game in Adelaide during the week against Collingwood, which really got out of hand in the second quarter, and it resulted in the AFL investigating video of the game and Eddie Hocking being suspended for 2 matches as a result of the game. How did they get here to this quarter-final match? Well, Footscray had a good win over Melbourne by 42 points, and that tall forward line looked extremely potent. And the Crows defeated Carlton at home by 40 points. With me in commentary tonight, Ian Robertson and Don Scott. Pretty warm night, but a top night for footy.
It was a good night, Ian. Innocent, really. The players would not like to play this type of game in conditions we experienced today, but at night it's good.
Well, I think it's perfect, and you mentioned about Footscray's tall forward line. We're going to have a look at their side right now. They were very, very good in the other game.
Yes, and I think potential and youngsters there with potential. It's a horrible word, potential, but when you look at it, Justin Charles, Adrian Campbell, Nigel Callett, Shannon Corcoran, it just goes on. Scott Wynn, Barry Stanford, just continue on. It's a good squad.
And Adelaide, of course, have got 3 new players, all fairly young. Modra from West Adelaide, Ingerson from Central Districts, and Sanderson from Sturt, and they'll be looking for improvement from some of their players from last year who have now had AFL experience.
Well, I have come across a few Adelaide supporters here, but naturally most of the crowd Footscray supporters, and look at them packed in there on the outer wing here at Waverley, a long way from Footscray, but they've made the journey to see their champion Bulldogs, and they've made a good start to 92 already. We'll be back for the start of the game after a short break. Coaches and captains for Footscray, Terry Wheeler coaching, Simon Atkins acting captain tonight, Doug Hawkins still out suspended, and for Adelaide, Graham Corns as coach and Chris McDermott the captain for the season. During the night, we'll hear from Tim Watson and Max Stevens on the boundary line. And here's Tim with his Mitsubishi Motors ground report.
Thank you, Drew. Well, the temperature today in Melbourne was 30.3 degrees. It's expected to get down tonight to an overnight low of 19 degrees. The current temperature on the Mitsubishi weather gauge is 23.3 degrees. The humidity 24%. There's no wind. The ground conditions are excellent, and the forecast is for cloudy but fine.
Pretty warm night for football. Umpires in charge, Shane Harris and Gary Forster. Shane Harris about to get us underway. Chris McDermott won the toss and elected to kick to the right-hand end for the Crows. No breeze advantage. Balmy night. And it should be a great game of football. The ground in perfect condition. Probably give it to Adelaide. Marshall had a bit of a fumble. Atkins gets the hand pass away, and Footscray in business. Justin Pickering, the ex-Richmond player, getting the first decisive kick. Marshall there again. It was Darren Stanley, number 19. Colin on the boundary line. A clever little kick.
Kick we see in Ireland, Drew. Jim Stein's very good at those.
Yeah, but you should be able to kick with some sort of penetration with the left foot. That to me was a little bit leerish early in the game. Pittman high. Now a chance for McDermott, but he's run over the boundary line, so we'll have a throw in. The ball about 75 metres around from the Footscray goal. There's Justin Charles, the effervescent Justin Charles, playing at centre-half forward. At the back, Pittman. Now a chance for McDermott, forced to kick under a little bit of pressure with the left foot. McPherson a good punch away. In after it goes Liptak. Now the ball runs free. Steve McPherson up the ground. Kicks it to full forward for Footscray. Ballantyne punched away by Smart. He does it well, the All-Australian. A great defensive ploy there by Smart. The kick is marked out there by Justin Pickering.
He comes in short. A centering kick to McPherson. Dodges around Liptak. A kick on the bounce to the 50-metre line. Could have been a free kick there for a high tackle on Grant. No whistle. McPherson keeps it going on the toe. His hand pass blocked. McDermott. Hurried kick out of there by Lee. And against his old team, and a few boos there as well for McGuinness. And the Crows on the way here. A beautiful long hand pass. That came from Bickley. Now to full forward on the bounce. And the hand pass came back from Jamison. Across the face of goal and bounces out. And we'll have a throw.
There was good overlapping by Adelaide, the way they came out and met the ball.
A couple of experienced players, Wiedemann and Negri, on the bench with two of the youngsters for Adelaide. Sanderson and Ingerson. It's in the forward pocket for Adelaide. And Stanfield, under a little bit of pressure, kicks the ball close to the line, eventually goes over. So we'll have a boundary throw in. There's Darryl Hart on the left. Well, Don, you're good with faces. That's got to be either young Sanderson or Ingerson, would it be?
No, it's Sanderson.
Sanderson, is it? Recruited this year from Sturt. The ball in the forward pocket. Chance now for Rowe. Left foot kick by Rowe is not bad. It's going close. And getting back, attempting to take the mark was Liptak. Couldn't quite control it. And it's through for the first score of the match. And that's a behind to Adelaide. Tony Campbell wearing gloves. Don, you must have a comment about that. It's a beautiful night.
It's a little bit early in the season, isn't it?
It's another Gaelic football ploy, isn't it? But unusual to see it in weather like this. Going back to Grant. And it looks a fine specimen, Chris Grant. Up to short of half forward. Big pack there, no mark. Marshall caught by Liberatore. Little hand pass, and the Crows off and running. Pays gets the hand pass clear. Up to half forward, and climbing from the back was Ingerson with the long hair playing on Foster. Foster goes back with a hand pass. Dangerous for Toohey. Hodges gets the hand pass wide. Here's Jamison. Shot for goal is good.
Well, here's a magnificent kick for goal, Jamison. Whether it's a set shot or, as we see there, on the run. He has kicked some critical goals, especially last year. There was one against Fitzroy over in Adelaide, which won up the game. And here it is, Hodges getting it out. And that is a magnificent kick, well executed by Rod Jamieson, their leading goal kicker last year.
Adelaide 1-1 lead. Footscray yet to score. The Bulldogs have been up to centre half forward and as far as full forward. Haven't been able to do much with it. Jamieson having one opportunity. Oh, there's a high tackle on McDermott.
Interesting that Scott Hodges is playing on the half forward line, Ian.
McDermott now to put Adelaide into attack. Up to near the 50-metre line. It goes over that line. Marshall, McPherson. Marshall nearly controls the football, and good attempt there by Justin Pickering. He's been penalised, and Marshall takes the free kick about 40 metres out.
Justin Pickering, a former Richmond wingman, had an outstanding season a couple of years ago. And there it is, very, very crude.
And the umpire very quickly onto that. Marshall to kick for goal. Not a bad kick either. Marshall has kicked Adelaide second.
Well, it's a little bit of a dream start for Adelaide. Jamieson, that beautiful left foot kick on the run, and there was a set shot from a penalty. David Marshall, an amazing footballer, David Marshall. I think his career had nearly ended when he was with Glenelg, but since he's come across here to the Crows, he's really kicked on. Revitalised player. And a good player last year for the Adelaide side.
Well, the Adelaide fans are making plenty of noise. Line goes up against Pittman. Liberatore out of the middle. Bouncing ball to half forward. And running onto this is Tasker. Up towards centre wing. Liptak. Bit slow to get rid of the hand pass. Crowd called ball. No whistle on the play. Steve Wallace, little left footer across the ground. And the mark's taken by Shannon Corcoran. Justin Charles, who kicked 4 goals in the first round Foster's Cup game against Melbourne. He's kicked to centre half forward. Not a great kick. No distance and astray. McDermott, the skipper. Up towards centre wing. And there's Ingerson being beaten by Foster.
Should be a free kick, Drew.
Could nearly have been the 50. Across the ground to Wine. And they're getting players out into open spaces now. Footscray. Wallace with plenty of time to steady. Bangs it to full forward. Is good. Grant. Valentine it was. Couldn't quite take them up. And now the Crows out of defence. Up towards centre wing. Mark's taken by Tui.
Ball on centre wing. Atkins has a chance. Hand passes away. Ball finishes with Stanley. Stanley's left foot kick into the pocket. Now a chance for Ballantyne on the left foot. Kicks it to the front of the goals. It bounces across the face and out of bounds in that right forward pocket.
Good use of the body by number 50 there, John Ballantyne. Although it was the seconds game last week against Geelong, he kicked 8 goals and has been kicking goals regularly. He's only 22 years of age.
Pittman doing the ruck work. Grant can't quite run onto it. McGuinness. Now Pittman, Maynard, McDermott and McGuinness. Good combination by the Adelaide Crows to get the ball out of defence. It's now on centre wing. Well out of danger. Out there was Ingerson. Helping out was Liptak. The kick up towards the half-forward flank area for Adelaide. Now's a chance for Modra. Intelligent play. Tries to tap it to the advantage of Hodges. He's brought to the ground. In goes Jamieson. Now a chance there for Tregenza. The kick into the pocket. Eccleston's under pressure for Footscray. Good pressure by Modra, but the kick finishes for Footscray with Tui on half-back flank. Bernard Tui crossing from the Sydney Swans this year. Has been a very good player in the AFL over a long period of time now. Smith, good tackle by Charles, and eventually got the kick from his tackle. Pittman, handball away. Chance down for Tasker, just fumbled a little bit. Nearly run down by Campbell. Opportunity for Pays. Combines now with Maynard. Kicking towards the centre. Good mark taken by Foster.
Foster just forward of half-back. Thumps it to half-forward. A good kick. And an excellent mark at the back of the pack. Dragged down by Campbell. I think too far out to score. 70 metres out. Valentine offers the lead. He goes for the hand pass. And here's Charles unmarked on the 50. Nobody back there. It's a one-out contest. Thumped out of defence. Lee hasn't cleared the area yet. Maynard gets it up the ground to him. Helped out by McGuinness. Crows lead 2-1 to nothing. McGuinness to McDermott. McDermott to centre half forward. A fingertip or a one-hander by Bernard Tui. Comes up short to the centre of the ground. Wine takes the mark near the centre circle. Away to Atkins, who had an outstanding game in the first round. 32 possessions against Melbourne. Valentine gets rid of his opponent. Smith there for the Crows. Up he comes to Smart. Nigel Smart off the right boot. Short of centre wing. And the mark taken by Corcoran.
Corcoran spots a player in short. It's Atkins. Takes the mark. A lot of players getting kicks on their own. Now McPherson coming up from defence. Long kick towards full forward. No mark taken. At the back. Smith handles it nicely. Handball away to McGuinness, who's starting to come into the play. McGuinness's kick has been marked. Coming down from centre half forward by Ingerson. Handball back to McGuinness. Forced to run back onto the right foot. Does it pretty well in the finish, Tony McGuinness. Kick towards centre half forward. Modra's in there. A little tap out. Advantages with Rowe. Can't break clear. Still goes after. He's got the football and should be penalised, and is. 45 metres from the Adelaide Crows goal. I don't think Graham Corns will be too happy with Stephen Rowe's efforts there. Eccleston's kicking towards the centre. Nearly a mark to Wine. Chance now for the Adelaide Crows through Pays. Gets it to Hodges. Hodges kicked to full forward. Just misses to the left. And through for one behind. Scott Hodges usually plays up at full forward. There's a rather tense-looking Graham Corns watching closely at players all over the ground. I suppose the early part of the game, both coaches having a good look at the opposition.
Kick in by Tony Campbell. Wine does well to work to the front. At centre half-back. One step too far into the man on the mark. It comes to McDermott. He bangs it back and kicks a goal.
Well, Scott Wind on that occasion was actually conned into kicking on the man on the mark. He was indecisive. He went left, he went right, then decided to go left. It's a great mark, actually. A great mark. Now watch this. Undecisive. He's going right, left, and just too close to the man on the mark. McDermott from 50 really makes him pay for it.
Don, if you're coach of Footscray, would you criticise Scott Wine for that?
Well, I suppose you could, Ian, but then, you know, he was trying to play on. Players do try and play on. I suppose you've got to give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt. At least he took the mark for you.
Doing well in the ruck contest. Big punch, Grant, now Maynard, Rowe, Tasker. Kick towards half forward. That could have nearly been interference against the Footscray player. In comes Tui, forced to kick quickly with the left, not bad. Corcoran, hand pass. Oh, it doesn't bounce too kindly for McPherson. He's in after it again, but the Crows are relentless. Rowe goes to McDermott. BOG so far, McDermott playing brilliantly. Good play, Modra. The ball's still there for young Sanderson. The kick off the ground is over on the full. And the free kick will be taken in the back pocket by Stanfield. Nice kick by Stanfield, out to half-back. No one there for Footscray. And Pittman takes what could be classified as an uncontested mark.
Well, you can be critical there of Scott Wine because he should have been with Pittman on that occasion.
Well, McDermott again to full forward, and the mark is dragged down right in front by
There's a
Modra.
free kick behind play, Drew.
Is that shepherding the player away from the marking contest?
Wouldn't allow him to get a free run at the ball.
Stanfield to take the free. Footscray haven't opened their account yet, and the Adelaide Crows are 3-2. Charles works to the front. Back with the hand pass, he goes to Wallace. Around the corner and finds the boundary line in between half-back and wing out of sight.
So you get the feeling that Footscray's intensity is nowhere near as what it was early in the match against Melbourne.
They're being well led, actually, in by McDermott, the captain Adelaide. He's had 7 kicks already.
See Ricky Kennedy up in the box there with the coach, Terry Wheeler. A lot of forwards in football breathed a sigh of relief when he went out of the game.
I concur wholeheartedly with that. And he's as keen as mustard, Drew. I sat on the boundary line for the Footscray Melbourne game, and he just, every chance he had, he was down there geeing the players on.
20-0. Under 10 minutes to go to quarter time. Ingerson doing pretty well. Liberatore. The hand pass is astray though. Taken by Pays. Liptak. Bickley. And now McPherson for Footscray. Wallace back to McPherson, under pressure from McGuinness. And Wallace has to go for the boundary line for the second time in a couple of minutes. And McDermott's there again. Absolutely outstanding. 8th kick for McDermott. Liptak takes the mark. Bickley. Inside half forward. Footscray leading the race here. Stanfield. Good gather. Backs himself. Crushes off the tackle. Top football. Into Eppelston. Up to Atkins. Footscray needs something out of this. It's looking good from defence. Little Libber. But his kicks astray onto the chest of Lee.
Tell you, they've got no value, Footscray, out of their kicks and handballs. They've had 36 to 31, 14 handballs to 26, and they trail by 20 points. They still haven't scored halfway through, more than halfway through the first quarter, and they're just giving the ball away too easily. Wine, handball away to McPherson. McPherson's kick into the forward line. This time he gives Ballantyne a chance to run at it, and well done, Johnny Ballantyne, just to get his hand to it. Stanley's brought down by Lee. Charles, handball away. Under pressure was Campbell. Back to Ballantyne. A free kick. It's going to Adelaide. And it could have been against Justin Charles.
You've got to pay a compliment. That goes to the Adelaide Crows backman, because they are really hassling up. They're playing in front. Young Stanley from Footscray was behind Scott Lee when it came down on that occasion. They're very, very desperate and forcing the Footscray forwards into error.
Pays for Adelaide. Kicks it wide. Pittman's on his own. Bad defensive work. 2-on-1 here for Adelaide. And away goes Tasker. Kick is short. Man on his own again is Marshall. Kicks it into the forward pocket. Not bad either. Sanderson, what a great bar. Had to sit and took it beautifully. Ingerson, rather. We had to get them mixed up, I suppose. Ingerson and Sanderson. But Wine for Footscray in the back line. Handball away to Wallace, and Wallace will clear for Footscray.
Chris Grant well down the ground. Just forward of halfback. Into Liberatore. Had to get rid of that in a hurry. Atkins. A lot of possessions to go nowhere. Kick smothered. Atkins bowled over. McDermott again. He's bowled over and he'll take a free.
Terrible by Justin Pickle.
That's two bad runs he's given away, isn't it, Justin? Really, there's no excuse for those.
Kick by McDermott to half forward. Ingerson should have taken the mark at the back. Toohey. Now on the chest of Bickley. Mark Bickley for the Crows. Up to full forward. Modra, number 44, is there. Comes off hands to Grant. They're going backwards, Footscray. Under pressure all the time. McPherson. His kick up to a congested area. It's a 50-50 ball. Comes to Atkins, and his little kick is marked by Pittman. Away to McDermott again. He'll get 100 kicks if he keeps this up. Comes through to the back to Campbell, wearing the gloves. Tony Campbell's kick is beautifully delivered, and Atkins.
McDermott has had 10 kicks now. The kick by Atkins goes wide towards the wing. Well done, Smart. Very, very well done. So was Pays. Tregenza, Pays, Tregenza. Handball over the top. It may come undone. No, it won't, because Footscray were too fancy. Smart. No nonsense in the finish. Now there's a chance for Ingerson. Leaves it for Rowe. In turn, Tregenza. And Tregenza's kick into the pocket is perfect. And Modra marks, I would say, within scoring distance. Angle a little tight, but certainly well within scoring distance. He'd have to kick the ball about 45 metres to score. Runs close to the man on the mark. Gets the distance easily, but kicks it off to the right and through for a behind. 3-3 plays Footscray, yet to score. The Adelaide Crows doing it nicely with 6 minutes left in the first term. And Tony Campbell with the black gloves and the slick back hairdo.
Hard to find options because the players have bunched at centre half back for Footscray, and there's not too much movement at all.
Is that the modern day Don Scott?
All he needs is spats.
Steve McPherson away to Foster. Foster's kick short. Chris Grant takes the mark. Gee, I just get the feeling that there's a certain amount of arrogance about Footscray.
Well, they're using the ball a lot. A lot of possessions to travel the ball, not all that very far. Campbell tried to take it on the second attempt, but Pays comes out of defence for the Crows. Oh, beautiful, clever play by Tregenza. His pace a while ago set up that mark for Modra. Here's Toohey. Bernard Toohey to the centre of the ground. Campbell ducked his head in the front. Charles got a good call from Atkins. One out is Ballantyne with his man Smart. Ballantyne gets rid of him. He's running out of room in the forward pocket. Oh, well played, Nigel Smart. He was gone for all money there and sees the ball out of play. That's all Australian footy for you.
Well, the players about 25 to 30 metres around from the Footscray goal. They are still to score. Pittman doing well. Liberatore. Oh, Stanley was never going to get anywhere near that. Now Pickering. Snapshot for goal is miraculous by Justin Pickering. What a great goal. Footscray's first, kicked by number 14, Justin Pickering.
Well, if he had another shot, he couldn't do it. I'll go on record as saying that I'll put money on it, and I'm not a betting man, but watch this. You really can't describe this with words. You need a picture, and we've got it here. Look at that. He doesn't even look at the goal. He puts it on his boot, and he hopes. And through it goes for Footscray's first.
An amazing goal by the Richmond recruit Justin Pickering, and Footscray get their first goal. Under 5 minutes to go to quarter time. Wine wins in the middle. Fumbled by Corcoran, but taken by Wallace. Campbell with one hand.
Go two hands, Adrian Campbell.
Genza gets it up the ground to Liptak. Be a Footscray free kick here, a throw. Quickly taken by Liberatore. To centre half forward. McPherson's there. There's Smart. Played it well again. Lee. Tunnel ball. Often call that a throw. Wallace. Here's a chance for Footscray. Charles. He's only 35 metres out. And he's kicked the goal.
He is an exciting youngster. There he is on screen. Number 1, Justin Charles. I hate using that word potential, but there's a lot of those Footscray youngsters have got it. He's one of them. And here it is, a build-up. But I like the play here of Stephen Wallace, because he actually spotted Charles, put that ball across the body. There was an option in the goal square, but Charles elected to go goalward. You see there the player, the Footscray player by himself, Maynard in front. Maybe Maynard could have got back, but still a good kick by Charles.
Wallace, 9 kicks and 1 hand pass, doing pretty well. McGuinness, his man for the night. Stephen Wallace, tag number 11 for Adelaide. There's Chris McDermott, the leading kick getter at the moment. He's at 10.
Well, Wallace was outstanding against Melbourne, and yet he spent the first quarter and a half on the bench.
Yes, it's difficult to understand. I think he's a parts man. Drew, he gets a job, and that night maybe they didn't have one for him. The kick to full forward. Ballantyne over the shoulder. Was it against Smart? Advantage? No. Collinut's kicked the goal, but the ball's coming back.
There was a slick handball by Simon Atkins out of the centre there that really set Footscray up on that occasion. Good play by Atkins. Here's the replay of the free kick. And there is the free kick. Take that one, son, from Nigel Smart.
Good umpiring decision there, because I'm sure that Bernie Quinlan and Peter McKenna, if they were watching this, would be wrapped in that. The full forward leading out in front, the fullback interfering, and the umpire giving the free kick to young John Ballantyne. And a great kick, but it's offline. Just to the right, through for Ballantyne's first score, a behind.
They've come with a rush, haven't they? They were out of it.
I just got the feeling that they were fiddling around early.
Simon Tregenza, half-back flank, up towards centre wing. Rogers tries to punch the ball on. Wind is there to fill the hole for Footscray. Straight ahead, Tui. Liberatore close to the boundary line. Not the best hand pass. Corcoran to Wine. Tui. Well, about 5 possessions to go, nowhere, and Liberatore now kicks out of bounds on the full.
Scott Wine showing great ability on that occasion, also showing great skill.
Tasker. Wine has the chance here. Doesn't really get a hand to it. Tapped out by Eccleston, but straight to the path of Tregenza. On the 50-metre line, the mark for Foster.
Good battle between the veteran and the youngster. Ingerson.
If Ingerson does well on Peter Foster, I'm sure he can look forward to a great future in the AFL.
There's 2 minutes remaining to quarter time, and 8 points the difference. The Crows in front. Pittman, short of half forward. Here goes Ingerson. Taps it to Marshall. Marshall at the 50. His left footer clears the pack. It's bouncing the wrong way for him behind.
Tell you what, when your luck's in, they bounce end on end and go through for a goal. Bad luck there for Marshall. He did the right thing. Carried all the players between himself and the goals. And it just bounced off to the right. 2-1 to 3-4. The Crows lead by 9 points as Campbell kicks in. And kicks in nicely to the outer half-back area. Liberatore and McGuinness. Well done, McGuinness, but he's under a lot of pressure. The ball now with Marshall. Space, just enough. McDermott. Now he goes away to Jamison. That kick is too short. And in chips Scott Wine and marks at centre half-back. Away go the Bulldogs. Eccleston from the 50-metre line. Kicks it wide towards the wing. Grant is beaten for it by Maynard, and Maynard is awarded the mark in front of Chris Grant. Very reliable defender is Rodney Maynard. Kick towards centre half forward. Doesn't give the young fella much of a chance there. Hodges recovers quickly. Kick towards goal is offline to the left, and it's out of bounds. We'll have a throw in about 6 or 8 metres around from the Adelaide Crows goal. So good start by Adelaide. They had 3-3 on the scoreboard before Footscray had scored. The Bulldogs have hit back with 2-1. At the moment, the Crows lead by 9 points. A minute left in the first term.
And the ball straight back out of bounds. Well, this is a bit more like it. These two promised to be pretty close. They finished 9th and 10th in the AFL competition last year. They won 1 each in matches between the two. But for a while, it looked like the Crows were going to murder them. Here goes Peter Foster from Wine's hand pass, straight to the centre of the ground. And good running, good mark taken by David Pittman.
No left hand.
Tasker under pressure, and Corcoran, an ex-South Australian, takes the mark at half-back flank.
Incidentally, a little bit of trivia. He was coached by Tony McGuinness as a junior and underage competition. Shannon Corcoran.
Mark taken by Pittman. Maynard gets the ball up the ground to Pays. And the ball now goes out of bounds. And just 32 seconds remaining to quarter time. And we saw a crowd shot earlier on, and certainly the Adelaide Crows aren't without friends in Melbourne. There's a real pocket of Crows fans and giving plenty of voice. Here's Atkins. Can Footscray move at the length of the ground in about 20 seconds? Not if the hand passes a block. McGuinness pushed in the back. No whistle. McGuinness again. He's dragged out of there by Atkins. It was going to be a free kick. Liberatore took it quickly with the hand pass. Away to Tui. They've run out of time, I think. 10 seconds left. Maybe one more kick to the forward line and a mark. Atkins, well met by McDermott, who has been superb. A push in the back. Free kick to Footscray. Collingham takes it, but the siren beats the Bulldogs. And at quarter time, well, they certainly got back into it late in the quarter, the Bulldogs, starting with that freak goal. That was kicked by Justin Pickering. And at quarter time, Adelaide 3-4-22, Footscray 2-1-13. 3 goals for the Adelaide Crows to 2 goals 1 of Footscray. For Adelaide, their goal scorers McDermott, who had 11 possessions and kicked a goal, Marshall and Jamison. And the goal scorers for Footscray, Charles, and that unbelievable goal by Justin Pickering. Down on the boundary line, we have Max Stevens and Tim Watson. Tim?
Thanks, Drew. Well, Coach Terry Wheeler spent a lot of time with his on-ball players. I think he was trying to sort out who actually was on who. He also spoke to Adrian Campbell. I think that he wants Adrian to, who's not playing with a lot of confidence at the moment, to show a little bit more confidence when he does go for the ball. And also, there's getting a lot of ball into the forward line, but they're not being able to pick it up with their crummers, and he wants more players at the fore of the ball. How'd you go, Max?
Well, Tim, Graham Corn's pretty happy with his defenders in that quarter. He said, well, things were going well for about 21 minutes. Towards the closing stages of that quarter, they started to drift away. Anthony Ingerson, I don't know what he said, but Graham Corn's had a quiet word to him. He also said that he wants the forwards to make a little more room up in that forward line, so when the ball is coming down, there's something there for the other guys to kick to.
Back to you, Drew.
Ingerson did pretty well on Peter Foster.
Yes, I agree. I think for a young man, in his first AFL game anyway, did very well. 9 points, the advantage to Adelaide. Footscray going to attack. Straight away through Atkins, into the full forward area. Punched away by the Adelaide defence. Lee it was. Now Smith leads in the race for the ball, and he'll just allow it to trundle over. Charles there for Footscray. Marshall. Boundary throw in right half forward for Footscray. They had 65 kicks to 54 in the first quarter. Adelaide had 38 hand passes to 32, and Footscray had 26 marks to 17. So statistically, Footscray had the better of it. Now a chance there for Liptak, but he's well tackled. We heard Don Scott in the background giving praise to the tackler. Now Marshall kicks into the full forward area. Modra from behind. Does pretty well. Campbell under pressure. Fairly confident though, Tony Campbell, and clears in the finish out towards the half-back area where Tui can't take it, and it's taken over by Tony Ingerson for a boundary throw-in left half forward for the Adelaide Crows. There's Wiedemann, rugged player we saw last year, do very well for the Adelaide Crows in their first season in the AFL. He's got a big task, Don young Ingerson, hasn't he, doing the ruck work on the forward line.
Well, they've only got the one ruckman, so consequently he cannot get down. He's playing a kick behind play, and that's Pittman.
McPherson's pass, grabbed on the half volley beautifully by Collingwood. Back he goes to Corcoran. Out wide to half forward flank. Lee tried to keep it at the toe, but it's grabbed by Grant. Grant steers the pass to Ballantyne. Can't mark, but he's got support from Campbell. Whipped away by Tasker. Good shepherding. Oh, that's great stuff by Smart. And the Crows out of trouble. Tregenza. Up towards centre wing. Bigley flies with Atkins. Comes to the front. Tasker. Bit of jostling going on here between McPherson and Rowe.
Good effort.
That was great stuff by Tregenza. The hand pass to the goal square. It comes through. Modra pulled off his kick. Can't get boot to ball. And it's rushed through by Campbell.
If a foot had have got to it, could you have picked up which one kicked the goal? There were feet flying at that footy everywhere. Then Tony Campbell brings the ball back into play. Kicks it in short, and Steve Wallace marks in front of McGuinness. Wallace a little advanced from the back pocket, kicks it towards the centre wing area, and a good mark taken by Grant. His aerial supremacy may be a problem there for Maynard. Chris Grant kicking towards the centre. Chance for Atkins. Oh, lovely little tap by Liberatore. Atkins kick towards full forward. Out comes Ballantyne. Smart's doing well on him. Helping out is Collingwood. Good crumming. Left foot shot for goal by Collingwood. Will roll. No, it's touched on the line. Desperate defence for the Adelaide Crows by Scott Lee.
One thing that showed up, or wouldn't show up on statistical sheets, is that tap on by Liberatore. That really set play up. He's done it and did it out on the outer flank earlier in the first quarter. Terrific stuff from the little fellow.
Tregenza up to Maynard. It was a really good passage of play. Great forward work by Footscray, but the spoil by Lee right on the line was terrific. McPherson centres. Oh, to Liberatore. He's the shortest man there. Ingerson came in and got a hand to it. Down goes McDermott. Back to Ingerson. Bouncing at the 50-metre line. Modra. Here come the gloves of Campbell. Pickering to Campbell. McGuinness gets him in the tackle.
Oh,
Bickley.
hit him.
Tackle was high, said the umpire.
It was high, but he should have really tackled him instead of trying to bump on that occasion. That was grand.
Kicked by Mark Bickley. Short of full forward. Oh, excellent mark taken by Hodges. Scott Hodges, who kicked 30 goals last year in the Crows' first season in the AFL, after his 150-goal season the year before. This one is good, and nobody back there on the line for Footscray.
Well, I had the feeling he'd kick it. You always have a feeling, right? You get a feeling on occasions that a player's going to kick a goal, and Scott Hodges, I've seen him kick it from that way before, of that distance. And there he is in front. Strong mark, playing in that half-forward flank. But it's not big enough to play at full forward, and that is a magnificent kick. He's let it go from about 55, and it bounces right on the line.
Well done, Scott Hodges. Kicked a bundle of goals in the South Australian National Football League a couple of years ago. Struggled a little bit last year, but kicked it beautifully then. Here's a chance for Marshall. Steve Wallace. Now Liberatore. Round onto that favoured left foot. Kicks it wide to half forward. Out in front of Campbell. He has it knocked away from him. Having an ordinary night, Adrian Campbell. Tidied up by McDermott. Out in front of Ingerson. Foster's good tackle. Excellent tackle, Foster. Didn't give the free kick away, which was important. Corcoran comes away with the football for Footscray. Up towards centre-half forward, but it breaks down. A good steadying mark taken by Smith. Handballs away to McDermott. Doing the link man's job perfectly, Chris McDermott. Smart. Kick towards full forward. No, it's Wine at centre-half back. Now a chance for Footscray through Tui. He could be penalised. No, he's not. And Bernard Tui, perhaps a little fortunate there. The ball between the centre of the ground and the left half forward flank for Adelaide.
Del Rey about to come on for Footscray.
Good spin out of trouble by McPherson. Back to Tui. From centre wing, Bernard Tui to half forward. The ball out of play. Overrun down there by Darren Stanley.
It's like a Footscray forward going to come off the ground. The runner's running in that vicinity.
After what we heard, maybe Campbell, perhaps. Charles loses control of it. Bickley. Charles gets it back. Caught in McGuinness's tackle. Pickering with McGuinness. Wallace for Footscray. Hand pass in. Awkward for McPherson. Atkins, so good with his hands, to Corcoran. Bouncing ball at the 50. Grabbed by Smith. Tregenza. Good spoil by Campbell. Smart tackle high. No whistle on the play. Collineu's hand pass to Corcoran. To full forward. Ballantyne works at the front. Maynard got hands to it. Comes off to Lee. And the Crows' defence has stood up particularly well. This Footscray forward line looked $1 million against Melbourne, but Adelaide's defence has been great.
The mark has been taken near the centre of the ground by Bickley. Handballs away. It's Lee coming from defence. Kicking towards full forward. Good mark. Terrific mark taken by Tony Modra. And he looks a handy acquisition for the Crows. Kick towards the full forward area. Mark. Certainly a mark to Hodges. Tui too slow to get back. And Modra summing it up. Kick the ball quickly. And Hodges takes the mark only 3 metres from goal.
And as he's lining up, Campbell's coming off and Del Rey coming on. I thought Campbell showed a little bit of effervescence in his last passage of play. It's a pity he came off. Maybe he was going to turn the page.
Hodges kicks the goal and puts it through.
Scott Hodges, second goal. His first earlier in the quarter. Came from a 52, 55 metre kick. On that occasion, here it is coming in from Modra. Running with a flight of the ball, kept his eye on the ball, Tui out of position. A reasonably easy mark for a player of Hodges' capabilities.
And Scott Hodges, who's had, as I said a few moments ago, a few problems with the Crows situation. He's kicked 2 goals tonight and he's doing well across the half-forward line. Chance for Eppleton. Eppleton's high kick towards centre-half forward. Footscray bombing away, hoping their forwards can take marks, which they did against Melbourne. Now Tasker and Maynard. Their combination across half-back and full-back has been brilliant. Dragenza gets back to help out. Now McDermott linking up across the midfield, kicks it in towards the forward pocket. McGuinness. Wallace wasn't far away. Oh, that handball was a bit dicey. Steve McPherson went for the man and not the footy. Out comes Liptak. He's well tackled. Liberatore gets a sweeping hand pass to Wind. He's big enough to shrug the tackle. Kicks it back in towards the centre. No mark taken. Chance for Maynard. Handball away to Smith. Smith will kick Adelaide up towards half forward. Big punch by Wind. Liberatore takes the crumbs and Footscray will go into attack.
Short pass in the direction
Oh,
of
great.
Charles takes the mark.
Good mark.
At full stretch, Justin Charles. One of the real motivators for Footscray. When he kicks a goal, lets everyone know about it. Ballantyne a bit of a fumble. Left it behind, there's Danny Delray. Little hand pass to Atkins. He comes backwards. McPherson shrugs off the tackle, but I reckon the tackle was good. Nigel Smart pinged him.
Steve.
And a 50-metre penalty.
Certainly runs a gauntlet, doesn't he? Fine line, Steve McPherson. Although he's trying to be discreet on that occasion, everybody knew what he was doing, and he was pinned.
Footscray narrowed the gap late in the first quarter, but the Crows have kicked 2 goals, both coming from Hodges at the start of this second term. Mark to Bernatui. Goes long in the direction of Delray, and Charles is there. Delray, good mark.
Done all right since he came on.
There's about 3 players forward of the centre line for Footscray. Delray gets around the man on the mark to Charles. That's a kick and hope. Up towards half forward. Oh, Lee got his name written all over it.
He'll be taking Stanley off, Drew.
Now Maynard for the Crows. Out to centre wing. They don't have the numbers. Ingerson outnumbered 2-1. Foster. Caught by Ingerson. Kept on going well, the youngster. Good play. The umpire calls for the ball up. Ingerson, who was the best and fairest at Central Districts last year. The youngster who was included on their list of 22 during the week.
See, that was an interesting
52.
one with Peter Foster pulling the ball back in and then trying to punch it out the back way. The umpires last year gave free kicks galore against players for doing that. So obviously that's something that they've been told to maybe ignore a little bit. Adelaide Crows, Ingerson, now Marshall. The kick slips off the side of his boot a little more than he would have anticipated. Good play, Modra. Away he goes to Bickley. Bickley over the top. Dragenza runs into an open goal and bangs away right on the line. It's marked back there by Stanfield. Not quite enough penetration in the kick by Dragenza. Eccleston takes the kick from the back pocket, and Eccleston will kick Footscray up towards centre wing. Looking for the big fellow. Wind, he does it pretty well. Playing a lone hand across the middle of the field. Justin Pickering, kick towards centre half forward.
Good
And
play.
Delray does it again. Added a little bit of sparkle, hasn't he? Kicking towards full forward. Johnny Valentine's got his hands on this one. He's fumbled a few, but he's got this one 45 metres from goal. And a chance to kick his first goal. His second goal? No, his first goal.
And make the
Good
distance
effort
too.
to get away from Smart, because Smart has got a lot of toe over the first couple of yards. And how important is it to play in front? Very important in this standard of football.
Valentine, who kicks it pretty good. Oh, what a great kick. What a magnificent kick.
Good play firstly by Delray. Delray getting away from his opponent. He used strength, pushed him out, took the mark and then spotted Valentine here on the lead, and it was a good kick. Well led, and the kick from Valentine was really exceptional because the angle was rather acute. He's let that go from about 52 metres. A beautiful kick.
Rose left the ground for the Crows. Darryl Hart makes his first appearance for the night.
Nigel Callett warming up.
Pickering going off. Little hand pass Marshall. Back to McGuinness. Kicked that nowhere. No Adelaide Crow anywhere near it. Eccleston, state representative for Victoria. Good pass. Juggle mark to Grant.
Got some class, this youngster.
Kick by Chris Grant in the direction of Charles. Smith from behind going the spoil. Well done, Liberatore. hardly tall enough to drag that out of the air. Collingham did well. Away to Atkins, little pass, Ballantyne at full stretch, can't take the mark. Smart tidies up. Played a smart game too. Tregenza with great pace. The tackle took him out. The ball stayed in about 15 metres up the ground and eventually goes out.
Shannon Corcoran, good play. He's also wearing Tony McGuinness's old number 2, number 11.
There's Nigel Kellett preparing to come on.
Footscray struggling to get the ball away from centre wing. Now Atkins to McPherson. It seems so repetitive. Atkins to McPherson. Happens quite a lot in the game of football, but Pittman breaks it all down at centre half back and marks. Handballs away to McGuinness to have one of his rare possessions. It's only his 7th and we're nearly up to half time. Drops it is Scott Lee. Gets past Del Rey. Kicks the ball up towards the centre of the ground. Mark is taken by Marshall, who's got a little bit of space. Kellett just coming on the ground. Kick it towards full forward. Footscray in trouble. Modra marks. Takes a good one in the finish, about 40 metres from goal. And a chance to get the Adelaide Crows 6th goal on the scoreboard. From West Adelaide.
So it comes from the Riverland. A lot of good players have come out of that area for the Adelaide, or West Adelaide.
Good hands and not a bad kick either. It's a goal.
Modra, who played in the grand final side last year for West Adelaide, as mentioned earlier, comes from that Riverland area. Some good players. Russell Ebert came from up there. Mark Micken, Bruce Lindner, and there he is, number 44, a good mark.
Under 8 minutes remaining to half time, and the Crows more than double Footscray's score, leading by 21 points. So Footscray will have to get a move on. Had a lot of the ball, but gone round in circles a lot. Atkins, hand pass is good. Barreled out of the middle there by Kellett, comes off hands. Del Rey again, offline, and Lee gets back there to take the mark. Towards the outer side. Tregenza. And they're finding loose men up the ground. And mark taken by Pays. Bickley. Now Maynard. Bickley. To full forward and charging out at Modra again. He does look good, doesn't he?
Steve McPherson could have put himself in there. Big fellow Negri has come on for Adelaide. Pittman off. Modra ran into that. Nobody in his way. Comes from Loxton, actually, which is up on the Murray.
Kick at goal by Modra. Marked on the behind line? No, just through for a score. So he's kicked 1 goal, 2 so far. Modra.
Kick in for Footscray. Finds Tui. Well chased, Daryl Hart, because he gave the chance for Maynard to drop back and take the ill-directed kick from Tui on centre wing. Maynard will put the Adelaide Crows back up towards the 50-metre line. At the back, big effort by Stanfield. Chance now for Liptak. He can't quite get away from Liberatore, and Liberatore does pretty well. Determination, he can't get away. Good persistence by Adelaide on their forward line to keep it in there. Footscray looking for the free kick, and it's going against McDermott. Well, I don't know, maybe a little bit stiff. The umpires have been letting it go. Kellett from half-back flank, kicks it in towards the centre of the ground. Negri, who's just come onto the ground. A fresh man, fresh legs. Handballs away. Chance now for Pays. Up towards centre half forward. Wine, too tall, too strong for Daryl Hart. Having a terrific battle with Pittman until Pittman was replaced just a minute ago. Charles can't mark. Negri's there. Atkins tap on. Pays goes after it. Wallace intercepts and gives the chance to Atkins. Foster caught, gets his left foot to the ball. Wide. Collingham slips over. Maybe critical because now he can't play on. Kicks it in short. Del Rey marks at centre half forward. Del Rey goes for the long kick. Near the square. Oh, could have nearly been paid, Maynard. Still in front of the Footscray goal. Adelaide bottled it up beautifully. We'll have a bounce
about 13 metres out for the Bulldog goal.
I thought he could have paid that one to Maynard.
Yes, he had one reasonable grab at it, certainly brought it to ground. There's the Adelaide cheer squad, if you'd like to call them. 22 points in front, Adelaide. They're doing it pretty well. McGuinness gets clear from back pocket.
Great bit of roving by McGuinness. Smith sees the ball out at half-back. Dermott's been a lot quieter this quarter. 4 possessions this term after 11 in the first quarter.
Charles about to come back on for Footscray. Well, not Charles, Campbell, Adrian Campbell.
There's Charles there with Negri, the 2 number 1s. McGuinness out of the air. Wind a bit unlucky. Eccleston, awkward spinning ball. Adelaide have the numbers. Lip tack, taken away by Toohey. Bernard Toohey from centre wing. He's left footer for Charles. Fires in the hand pass. Steve Wallace to Ballantyne.
Good, yes, good effort. I didn't think he'd take that mark. He was on a lead. He was going left, then decided to go right. Had to change his direction in the middle of a quick lead. It was a good effort from the fellow. Then he had the prop get under that mark. I thought Smart would punch it away. He uses his body well, and he's got a big body.
Another one of the Bairnsdale connection.
Actually, Charles is coming off Drew and Campbell going on.
So John Ballantyne from 45 metres. Perfect.
They needed that, John.
Yeah, it just seemed to be slipping away a little bit. I don't know what's wrong with their passage of play. Maybe they're kicking the ball too long from too far up the ground. Maybe if they let the ball go, it could run it up to the edge of the square, then kick it long. But this is a good passage of play. Steve McPherson has got the tagging job on McGuinness. Wallace has got it on McGuinness.
Adelaide by 16 points, close to half-time. And they had a 21-point advantage before Footscray had scored. 3-3 to nothing in the first term. So the Bulldogs haven't done really a lot to make inroads into that. Atkins, Wallace, again Steve Wallace. Full forward, Ballantyne's got it. And Smart, each time Ballantyne has got the mark, Smart has been only 1 metre from him. So Johnny Ballantyne has earned every possible touch of the footy that he's got.
And incidentally, it is Wallace who's got the job on McGuinness, and it also highlights that McGuinness hasn't really got a defensive side to his game. Now, Wallace has hit Ballantyne twice in the space of, what, 30 seconds?
Good point. Ballantyne from... He'd have to kick it 50 metres plus to score. It's a thumping kick by Ballantyne. It's another goal to number 50.
His 3 goals have come in this the second quarter, and from beautiful kicks too. The first coming on this near side flank. It was 52 metres out. It was a good pass from Del Rey. And here's the change. That's Stanley going off. Stanley really hasn't had a good night tonight. He really hasn't got underneath those packs. He hasn't had a touch, I don't think, up on that forward line. He's only had he's had 4 kicks, but he hasn't done much with them.
The young boy coming on is Scott West, 17 years of age, still attending Essendon Grammar. And just a note that his brother, Troy, who is listed by Footscray, is in hospital recovering from an arthroscope operation, so good luck, Troy. Adelaide have got the football up towards half forward, and a mark has been taken by Ingerson. Ingerson's left foot kick to the square. Marking contest there, and Modler's got it again.
Well, the 2 youngsters combining well. Ingerson giving Foster the real run around. And there's Modra, showing a lot of ability to play in front, now taking Tony Campbell apart.
Taken 5 marks.
He's kicked 1 goal, so a chance to kick his second with just 2 minutes left in the first half. A beautiful kick by Modra. It's straight through the centre. Anthony Modra from West Adelaide gets his second goal for the Adelaide Crows, and Adelaide leads 7-6 to 5-2.
As soon as Footscray mount a challenge, Adelaide are equal to the task. And Stanfield not quite getting his hand there. The idea was right, he was trying to punch the ball, but just couldn't quite get it.
Two minutes to half-time. Footscray got within 10 points. It's now back out to 16. McDermott taps out. That's clever to Tregenza. Getting back there is Campbell. Kick out to centre wing. Grant had it spent before he took the mark. Scooped off the ground by Marshall. Up to centre half forward. Back here. Ingerson contesting everything. Bickley, the hand pass across to McDermott. To full forward. Modra again.
Being held, should be paid the free kick.
Running onto it, Hodges. He's belted to the ground. It's going to be a free. Advantage played.
Advantage. Well, there are a number of mistakes on that occasion. The first one should have gone to Modra. He's being held by Campbell, and that one, there was a lay-down was there to Scott Hodges. The umpire paid it, but then decided to go with the advantage. And the advantage did work in Adelaide's way because they scored a goal. Here it is, the free kick to Hodges. In the back, you can see that. Eccleston then coming over the top, and he got one real player coming the opposite way. And Rodney Jamieson went in and kicked the goal.
Play recommenced back in the centre. Just a minute 20 left. Tregenza can't quite get there, but McGuinness is there to give him a hand. The kick by Bickley up towards the forward pocket, and out in front taking the mark is Ingerson.
Campbell's got the job on him.
He might be. Oh, Modra, high leaping. Could have nearly been a free kick to Campbell. Liberatore to McPherson. Footscray out of trouble. Back towards the centre. No. McDermott will go bang with the long drop punt. He's been flattened after he kicks it, and Modra will kick a goal. Surely the umpire will give the all clear. No, he's going to ask young Anthony Modra to have another kick, and there's the tough man of Adelaide Crows, Chris McDermott. You can bang him into the turf 29 times in a game and he'll keep getting up. Maybe a bit flimsy, wasn't it? Yes.
Oh.
When you have a look at the replay, but I suppose on the spur of the moment, the umpire, all he's got to see is Campbell running into McDermott after he's kicked the football. Now Modra will certainly kick his third. He makes no mistake.
Now what they've done, Footscray, they've got Adrian Campbell, that's not Tony Campbell, Adrian Campbell at centre-half back picking up Ingerson, and we've got now Foster at the centre-half forward position. Now Ingerson is still leading the centre-half back Campbell a merry dance, as he did with Foster. Now they've just got to tighten up with that fellow. The Footscray runner is out talking to Campbell, and he is the problem at the moment, a very lively customer.
Well, it's been 6 goals to 3 in this quarter for the Crows. Modra's kicked 3, Hodges has kicked 2, and Jamieson has kicked 1 for the term. And Ballantyne has kicked all 3 for Footscray. Liptak overrun by Bickley. Liptak's back there. Eccleston, clever little hand pass. Wind into Atkins. Hurried right footer up inside the 50. Overrun by Foster. Smart goes back. Smith across the ground towards the outer side. Tregenza. 15 seconds remaining in the half. Kicked by Tregenza. Liptak. Spoiled by Eccleston. Ball hasn't gone out. Corcoran first back there. Liberatore. Oh, little Libber gets around McDermott. Gets rid of the kick, but that is half-time. And Footscray got within 10 points, but then the Crows finished all over them and lead at 9-6-60 to Footscray, 5 goals to 32. And we saw plenty of that young fella there, Tony Modra, number 44. Only played a handful of games for West Adelaide, about 10 games. Certainly making his presence felt here in his first game in the AFL. So Footscray with the job ahead of them as the Crows talk about it as they leave the ground. Adelaide 9-6-60 leading Footscray 5-2-32.
Can you move to your right? Is it too hard to do?
Yep. Yeah, Scotty.
Yeah, mate.
Yes, mate. How are you?
Good, mate.
All right.
It was comeback day today. Gary Pert and Peter Dacos out at Collingwood.
Hang on. Just 1 second. Hang on.
That's good. Yeah.
Right, comeback day, yeah.
It was comeback day. Gary Pert and Peter Dacos at Collingwood.
Yeah.
David Rhys-Jones, Silvani and Gleeson out at the showgrounds.
Rhys-Jones, who?
Silvani, Rhys-Jones and Adrian Gleeson.
Oh, yeah.
Brief.
The Blues ended up winning by 46 points.
Goody.
Gee, hey, I'm getting a lot of atmosphere. I can, Scotty's yelling, I know, but I can still hardly hear him. Right, keep going.
Richmond finished too strong for Melbourne. 8 points. Young Stuart Edwards kicked 8 goals. Jakovic kicked 8. Simon Olsholz hurt his knee.
Right.
St Kilda keeps shedding its interstate recruits. Greg Jones is the next to go.
Yeah.
Carlton and the Players Association are locked in a bit of a dispute over $323. Commission money taken by the Blues for collecting union fees.
Yeah.
And Elvis, you know how Elvis Presley's getting a stamp?
Yes.
Well, the Collingwood Football Club have got their own envelope, and we've got an exclusive showing of it. And it comes out on March the 11th.
Elvis stamp, Collingwood envelope.
Yeah, and everyone will be shook up over it. All right?
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Okay.
Adelaide finished the term strongly, 9-6-60, leading Footscray 5 goals to 32. We saw Modra get 3 goals in that quarter, and Scott Hodges kicked 2. Jamison got 1 to make it 2 to half-time. For Footscray, they got just 3 goals for the quarter, and all of them came from John Ballantyne, who can certainly kick the football over long distances. But a 28-point deficit to Footscray at half-time, and no doubt Terry Wheeler will be having plenty to say at the half-time break. Now we can take you into the offices of the Sunday Herald Sun and Scott Palmer. Now, Scotty, what do you have for us tonight? I believe it was comeback day for a lot of league players today.
Certainly was, Drew. Yes, Gary Pert and Peter Dacos out there at Waverley today. Pert, who missed most of the last year with a knee injury, played 1 half of the game, got through it well, played in the back line, and guess who was watching? Paul Roos, his old Fitzroy teammate, and his dad, Brian Pert. And
now, Carlton had a few players who came back today.
David Rhys-Jones, Stephen Silvani and Adrian Gleeson all reappeared, and they played very well in their game of football out there at the showgrounds. Harkin said, what a bonus after the week we've had. And of course the Blues got up and beat Essendon by 46 points a day. Derek Kickett played well for the Bombers.
Oh, that'll give them some heart, because a lot of people think the Blues might be starting from a pretty big handicap.
That's exactly right.
At the start of the season. And another scratch match, and Richmond had a victory over Melbourne.
8 points. They got up and beat Melbourne. Young Stuart Edwards, the under-19 goal kicker from last year, kicked another 8. Jakovic kicked 8 for Melbourne, but Simon Olsholz hurt his knee, and the Demons are just praying that isn't serious, Drew.
Gee, it's been a bad start to the season for the Demons.
It has been too.
Any news on a sponsor for them?
Not as yet, mate. Not as yet.
Oh, well, that does look bad. Okay, what news on St Kilda recruits?
Well, St Kilda look to be shedding all their interstate recruits. We've had Kitsky go, Smith, Arnold, and now Greg Jones, a Swan District player. He's been dropped off the list, but Footscray, who are playing out there tonight, are looking very closely at him. He's not a bad centre-half back.
Now, as we all know, the Carlton are a big money club, and they've got a fight out there tomorrow. They might get 30 or 40,000 at Princes Park, but there's a bit of a blue going on over a paltry sum of money.
They're fighting over small change with the Players Union, $323, but it's going to get dirty because it's of subs that the players paid for their union fees, and Carlton have claimed it and the union want it. They say it's our money.
Now, Scotty, Elvis Presley has a stamp in his honour. Collingwood are coming up with something to match them.
March the 11th, Collingwood get their own centenary envelope. And are they going to be all shook up over that over the next couple of weeks, Drew? They're going to buy it all over Australia.
Looks all right. Looks like being short of being a big seller. Thanks, Scotty. Look forward to the paper tomorrow.
Keep punching, Drew.
On you, mate. Back out here at Waverley Park, and Tim Watson down in the dressing room. Tim?
Thanks, Drew. Yes, it's very quiet down here in the Footscray dressing rooms. Terry Wheeler has just taken the players in to give them their halftime address. Rick Kennedy, who is the new chairman of selectors here at Footscray, had a bit to say to the players at halftime when he came into the rooms. But I think they're sort of collecting their thoughts again at half-time, and hopefully they'll come out and show a little bit more vigour in the second half.
Good on you, Tim. We'll have it. Hello, a moth just went past. I think, Scotty, you didn't just open your envelope, did you?
It wasn't one moth, it was quite a few.
Well, we hope to get into the other dressing room after a short break.
Hi, I'm Tony Liberatore from the Footscray Football Club. You get all the best footy on Channel 7.
Another game at Waverley tomorrow, the fourth quarter final between Sydney and Fitzroy at 1:30 Eastern Time. Check your local guides for details. Start of the second half. Umpire Shane Harris getting us underway. A 28-point deficit for Footscray, and Adelaide have looked impressive at the start of the game and then in a spurt just before half-time. Wine rips it out of the middle, inside the 50 with his kick. Lee straight back up to the centre of the ground. Hodges got underneath it. Good spoil by Tui. Got it back from Wine. Tui back to full forward. Valentine. Oh, Delray's flown high. Well played there in the first gamer, and a sensational effort by West. Just fell short, and Lee got back there to mark.
Tell you what, he's played a good game, Scott Lee, back there in the last line of defence for Adelaide. Hand passes away to McGuinness. McGuinness's clearing kick is pretty good. Wide to the wing. Wallace is out there. Hand pass was by Campbell. McPherson under pressure. In goes Callett. Now Footscray may clear. No, the umpire has called for a bounce when, well, maybe the players, their endeavours were to clear the ball, and just when they're about to, the umpire blows his whistle and calls for a bounce. Charles down to Atkins, away to Callett. Callett's kick. Pass is okay, but Smart was there, punching the ball away. Tregenza to clear for Adelaide. Kicks it towards centre half forward. Back goes Foster. And that was a little bit iffy.
No, that was a definite.
Ingerson?
Definite, I thought, because Ingerson really did push him to ground.
Well, Foster's got the free kick. He plays on quickly to Wallace at centre half back. Wallace in short, looking for Charles. Smith, handball, not bad. McGuinness back to Smith, a little inaccurate, just enough to be troublesome. Now Liberatore and Callett combine. Callett's a long way out. Short pass into the pocket is too far. And Johnny Ballantyne, maybe that lead wasn't as good as what you could have done. Smart comes away for Adelaide. Kicks it towards Smith. Punched away by Wallace. Footscray have got the numbers. Good effort by Grant to let Wallace keep running through. Up towards full forward. Ballantyne, is that a mark? No, surely not. Scott Lee doing the tackling.
He's prepared to put himself in front, Scott Lee. He's led young Scott West to the ball on one occasion earlier, and look how he holds his ground here in front of Ballantyne. Very courageous player is a former Hawk.
Negri gets the ball down. McGuinness. Grant for Footscray, close to goal. Atkins and Negri sees the ball out. Simon Atkins has had another superb night. 20 possessions to half-time. Acting skipper tonight, the two number ones, Charles and Negri. Liberatore is going pretty well too, little Libba.
He's not trying to put himself under the pack, is he?
17 possessions for him.
Quite a few players could take a leaf out of his book.
Boxed up down here towards the forward pocket. Charles palms it down, but McDermott takes it to Bickley. McDermott again. Feeds off the hand pass to Marshall. Kick by Marshall to half forward. Ingerson. Foster's been moved back to where he started on Ingerson. Ingerson off the ground. Beautiful. And straight onto the chest of Rodney Jamieson.
He's just that little bit too quick, Drew, for Peter Foster. Although Foster was trying to out-strengthen him on occasion, his quickness kept him with Foster, and he just managed to get that foot to ball.
Jamieson coming up for goal number 3. Distance about 20 metres. He's got it.
Well, Ingerson's stats wouldn't be impressive, but the work he's done tonight has been very impressive. He's had 2 opponents, and they being Peter Foster and Adrian Campbell now at Peter Foster. He's had 5 kicks and 1 handball. That's only 6 possessions, but still he has had the praise of the opposition coach in having 2 opponents.
How about Rodney Jamieson? 4 kicks, 3 goals. Geez, damaging up on that forward line. You just can't afford to let him get the football. He capitalises on his opportunities very, very well. And Footscray had a lot of the play in the opening 3 or 4 minutes. Adelaide go forward once and they've got a goal. Corcoran, Ingerson again. Corcoran lets it go through. Liptak in there, doing the tackling, and the umpire will call for a bounce about 55 metres from the Adelaide Crows goal. Brian Royal and Dougie Hawkins giving the Stimmerole a good workout.
Incidentally, those 2 are the leading goal kickers at Footscray last year.
Scott Wine doing the ruck work. McPherson attempted kick off the ground. Now a chance for Tui. Can't quite get clear. Now the advantage is paid. Foster from centre half back. Not a bad kick back in towards the centre. Good gather by Delray. Should have kept going that first time. Kick across his body towards centre half forward. West a good gather. Go again, son. Well done. Atkins. Slippery handball. Wallace away to Kellett. Now this has to be a good pass. No, Collinuk makes it half reasonable. He can't get away though. Pays was a good tackler. Maynard back there. And that was a good effort by Pays on Collinuk.
Also a good effort by young West. I criticised him earlier for being behind Lee. On that occasion he was in front and set the play up. Ricky Jackson, former Melbourne Rover.
Negri and Charles. Maynard turned into trouble and was caught in Charles's tackle. Didn't have a chance of getting rid of it. The umpire will ball it up. Tregenza across the wings had a good night too. He's had 19 possessions. Charles with a big leap, but it comes to McDermott. Now McGuinness, close to the boundary line, the kick. And shepherded over by McPherson. Footscray have had the ball up there, but they've conceded the only goal of the quarter when Ingerson got that kick out of mid-air and Jamieson took the mark and goal. It was a goal that Footscray didn't need. Kellett up to half forward. West, he's doing well. 17-year-old in his first game. Ballantyne taken out of it. Free kick right in front of him.
That's what I was just going to say. Isn't it hard to pick those out? Now, you could have tossed a coin there, the umpire saying, yeah, Nigel Smart held on to John Ballantyne. Let's watch this. Oh, yes, I suppose the hold was there. Then you could say a hand over the shoulder by Ballantyne on Smart. Liptak's going off. Wiedemann is becoming a cold figure. Wayne Wiedemann comes on.
Ballantyne's kicked 3 goals, 1. All his goals in the second quarter, and now he's got 4.
He doesn't do too many kicks either at that end of the ground too. Ballantyne, he's had 6, and he has kicked 4 goals, 1. Here it is, the free kick on screen again. Pickett, I suppose that's it there. There it is. But the umpire's in the best position to pay those frees.
Well, Ballantyne on the All-Australian defender, Nigel Smart, 6 kicks for 4 goals. Not a bad effort. Jamieson and Modra, the leading goal scorers for Adelaide, with 3 apiece. Footscray a chance once again. Here's Grant, onto the right foot. Kick towards centre-half forward. Charles Marks, has he been played on?
No.
Oh, dear me, he was nearly off.
Well, should that be a free kick? Should that have been a free kick?
What, 50 metres maybe?
Well, just posing the question.
Charles to full forward. Del Rey, no,
That
can't
should be a
mark.
free kick.
Holding
surely.
on to Del Rey was Tasker. Away goes Pays, Tregenza, back to Pays, and the Adelaide Crows are out of trouble. The kick towards centre wing. Footscray are in the van. McPherson, oh, a little bit too smart, maybe, for want of a better word there by Steve McPherson. And the handball over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in quite near the players' interchange area. Wine and Negri. Ball goes towards Liberatore. He's after it again. Look at him, the terrier. But Hodges is able to get the hand pass away to Tregenza. Oh, in trouble.
Well done.
Now Tregenza again. Kick towards half forward. Footscray defence under pressure. Able to get clear. Campbell. Little left foot kick's not bad and finds McPherson. He can go to Atkins. No, a little bit too slow. Now he can go near side to Eccleston. And Eccleston marks. Footscray probably using it a little bit better. They still can't get the score on the scoreboard. Was that a mark to Del Rey? Looks a bit slow, but this time he's shut out of it by McDermott. McDermott able to fight on. Now here's young Sanderson. Kick towards half forward, inside 50 metres. Leaving it behind was Jamieson, but he fights on after it again. Foster, Wiedemann. Wiedemann, can he get clear? He tries hard. That's a free kick. Stanfield holding on to the man when he didn't have control of it. Away goes Footscray. Kicked it wide, out to the wing, and Negri marks.
Now Andrew Pays, inside half forward. Punch out by Foster. It's good. Comes to McPherson. Now Corcoran. He's run down from behind. A great tackle. Liberatore just got it forward to Atkins. And now to Grant. Footscray can mount something here. Ballantyne, a big climb. It comes to the back. West. First goal in senior footy. Well played, sir.
Well, that's where they've had a little man planted up there, Footscray. Someone to scoop on the crumb. It's been a long time coming. That's the first crumb goal that they've got. And the youngster could have gone further. Actually, again, well set up by Simon Atkins as he got it across to Grant. And there it is. He could have run a little bit further, but he had enough confidence in his kicking to put it through from where he let it go from.
Well, I get the feeling that that's where they've been missing out, Footscray. Just a little bit of crumbing between the centre of the ground and up in their forward line. And maybe young West can do something to lift them. Liberatore caught by Wiedemann. Del Rey, handball over his head, could nearly have been penalised. Tasker run down by Callett. Oh, that was a fierce tackle. Footscray get clear again through West. He goes long. Drop punt kick may bounce through. It may. It nearly did, but Smart got back there quickly and kicks the Crows out of trouble outside 50 metres. Boy, there were some anxious moments for Adelaide there. Just now they've got the ball out to half-back.
It's a strong player. There we have David Parkin, an interested spectator. It's a good play by Andrew Pays because he's put himself over the ball. You can see there Quillinup tried to get him off. He showed enough strength to retain his position.
McDermott, handball wide. Smith, will it sit for him? He's caught by Liberatore. McGuinness is caught by Atkins. Footscray now. The tempo seems to have lifted. Grant miskicked it. Oh, Maynard missed it. Slippery when the ball gets a bit hot. Now Smith. Smith will clear for Adelaide, and he kicks it wide towards the wing. Tui overruns it. Out comes Sanderson. Handballs it about 25 metres towards his own side's goal. All strong was Foster. Handball over the top, Tui. Attempted tackle by Tregenza, but Tui, a short kick, a little too high for Grant. Negri tries to break the tackle and eventually slips out of his hands and goes over for a boundary throw-in.
Good stuff, isn't it?
Terrific now.
Slipped it into overdrive, haven't they?
Terry Wheeler on the phone. Georgie Bissett in the background. Negri and Charles. Kellett and Wiedemann. Wiedemann gets his left foot to the ball, kicks it into the centre. Marshall marks and away go the Crows through Tasker.
Kick by Tasker to half forward. Ingerson is there, number 29. Overruns it. Wine, back to Corcoran. Good pass up towards centre wing. West, he's had a good couple of minutes. Atkins, almost left it for each other. Not a great hand pass, Atkins. Now, you don't get a chance to say that too often. Bickley, Atkins the tackler. Marshall, Wallace the tackler. Corcoran breaks the tackle of Bickley. West again. You look all right to me. Up towards half forward. No mark. Back there is Maynard. Grant, he threw it out in front. And the ball goes out of play.
Just Scott West may have gone short when he probably should have kicked it long. Gee, they had a run on then, the Bullies.
22 points the difference, and just under 10 minutes to go to three-quarter time.
Negri gets it down to McGuinness. Crows can get out of trouble. Smith back to McGuinness. McGuinness gives away ground, but goes to Smart. Smart's got 15 metres. The bounce is awkward for himself. Now he's able to handball it away.
Well done,
McGuinness has covered some territory there. Picked the ball up on the opposite half-back flank with about 3 hand passes. Eventually got it back and kicks the ball towards half-forward for the Crows. And Tony McGuinness back
Hands
behind
on
play.
knees.
Exactly, Donnie. I was looking at the same thing, but by gee, covered some territory.
200 yards, I reckon, you ran then.
Young Ingerson forced to do the ruck work against Wine. Atkins, wider still for Kellett. He's quick over the first 10 or 15. So is this boy Corcoran, just able to get his foot to the ball. Grant has come into the play. He's caught by Wiedemann. A brilliant tackle. McGuinness getting into the play. The kick is a little awkward out here for Tregenza, but it bounces nicely for him. The kick towards half forward is a good one, and the mark is taken by Sanderson.
He looks good, Brenton Sanderson. Teal Cup player.
Right tackle.
That was a ripper by Wine. He dragged Jamison to the ground, dispossessed him. Now here's Tregenza back near centre wing.
Kullenuk off, and coming on for Footscray is Justin Pickering.
22 points the margin, the Crows lead. Sanderson again to full forward.
Oh, what a free kick.
And the mark couldn't be taken there by Modra. Now Footscray come out of defence. Kellett straight up the ground to Atkins. Still only at half-back. Kellett ran on.
Oh,
Hot one round the chops for his trouble.
Oh, that was bad.
And that's a report. Bickley.
Years ago, you would have got away with that, Ian.
Yes.
Really nothing much in it. You get a hot ear, that's about all, I suppose.
But I think that there's so many serious things that can happen when a guy's head is thrown back. When he lurching forward, which Kellett was, with lots and lots of pace, his face is lurched back by the tackle.
So it's down around, open hand down around the chin.
It looks to be reasonable. Handball away to Atkins. Atkins kick towards half forward. Delray can't mark. Punched away by Tasker. In goes Marshall to take the crumbs. He's tackled by Pickering. Footscray got 2 there. Now they've got the numbers when the ball hits the ground. Wallace to Ballantyne. Ballantyne's hand's a little too stiff. Back goes Smart. Oh, he's handballed it over the boundary line. No. Umpire says to the boundary umpire, all clear, throw it in.
It's a great contest. There's a great contest between Smart and Ballantyne. Good offensive play, good defensive play.
Yes, I would say Smart has done pretty well. He hasn't given too many centimetres away, but still Ballantyne has kicked 4 goals. Chance for Liberatore on the bottom of it. He's a hard man to get off the football. Now McDermott away to Maynard, and Maynard will clear for Adelaide.
Runs it through halfback. Centres. McPherson chips in.
2 hands.
If he can keep the ball going forward, he does to Kellett. Kellett's hand pass blocked by Maynard. Immediately tackled. Down goes Charles. It's really hotting up in this third quarter. McDermott over his shoulder to half forward. Foster with courage back into the pack. It comes to the front. Stanfield up the ground. Kick by Stanfield to half forward. Delray climbs. One hand only. Charles. Dragged to ground. No whistle. Maynard taps out. Comes to Negri. Dodges a tackle. Blocked by Delray. Bounces to Pickering. Gets it through his opponent's legs. Charles to Liberatore. Tregenza the tackler. Pickering whips the ball out, but it's taken by Negri. Kick by Negri up towards the centre of the ground. Footscray have the numbers. Chance for Corcoran. Oh. Good chase, Marshall. Wallace. Open forward line. Ballantyne.
Right on 50. Will he kick it? He's done it before.
I don't think he'll have any trouble with the distance, this boy.
That's a mere flick off the pads for him.
He is such a good kick.
Well,
Billy Quinlan has mentioned, Drew, about his relaxed kicking style. The boys sometimes get stiff-armed, so we'll just watch this young fellow now. There's a kick.
Hooked it.
In 60 metres.
No trouble with the distance.
Oh, beautiful kick.
John Ballantyne, 4 goals, 2 in the scoreline of Footscray, 7-3. But they still trail Adelaide, who are 10-6. We've got 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Smith trying to make position for Tasker. Tasker's kick goes pretty well straight up the ground. Attempted punch. Wiedemann's a chance. Handballs away to McDermott. In turn to Smith. Smith has run all the way up from fullback. Kicks into the forward line. No mark taken by Modra. Corcoran away. Stanfield rides the bump. Handballs away to McPherson. McPherson across half-back. Footscray players getting in way of the umpire, or Vicky Verka. Now the ball finishes with Delray on centre wing. And Danny Delray certainly has lifted
There's
that
no movement on that forward line. Only Ballantyne.
Too far out to score. Kicks it within scoring distance now. Charles and Negri. Charles has got the football, not paid. Ball at the back. Ballantyne punches on. Chance for Smith. He's caught from behind by Pickering. Opportunity for Liberatore. A right foot snap by Libba. Just misses to the right. By, gee, the hands were Rocky style there for a second by the Brownlow medalist from 2 years ago. And Footscray 7-4. Trail Adelaide 10-6.
Maynard in the back pocket. We have 5 minutes to go to three-quarter time. Tasker out wide. Read by Atkins. Spears the pass in on his own as Liberatore. Dishes off the hand pass to Kellett. Not a man in great position. A high ball to full forward. At the back, Grant!
Yeah, really you couldn't blame Smith on that occasion. I thought he was in terrific position, Smith. He worked his way to the front. Now watch this. He's in front, hands up. Just that nudge out by Grant, just at the critical moment. It's very hard to stop a player when he's in that position and doing what Grant did. But Smith in front did the right thing.
Who do you give the points to?
Well, you couldn't chastise Smith, could you?
Chris Grant hasn't scored tonight. This one comes back a bit. And there's a goal.
He's got a lot of ability, Grant. We saw him as a youngster as full forward. And when he did play in that position in 1990, he kicked 51 goals. And if you do play at full forward, you've got to have a lot of skill. And he showed on that occasion. The youngster, Sanderson off and Liptak on for the Crows.
Now this centre bounce, very important for Footscray. Each time they've made a challenge, Adelaide have been able to take it away from the centre. Crows lead by 14 points. Big punch by Wine. Grant collects the footy away to Atkins. That may have been a bit dubious, but the ball is paid. Charles marks. Too far out to score. Looking to play on. Now he does. Kicks it into the full forward line. Too far for Ballantyne. West kicks it off the ground and it slips off the side. Over on the full, free kick to Adelaide in the back pocket.
Charles is deceptively quick for a man of his size. He's about 6'5", and he is exceptionally quick over the first couple of yards.
Very exciting young player, Justin Charles. The kick goes out towards half-back. It's punched on. McDermott. Handball long, not bad. Marshall. Bickley nearly caught. Kellett's a chance. Oh, great gather. Brilliant, exciting, inspirational football by Kellett. He bangs towards goal. Delray can't mark. Punched away by Tasker. This will be a miracle goal. Grant, it bounces close to the line, and it's picked off by Smith, and he'll clear for Adelaide. After one bounce, the Crows have got the numbers here. Maynard's got 50 metres in front of himself. Bounces twice, and a third time. Runs up towards centre-half forward. Short kick is all right. And the markers this time is taken by Modra.
Good play by Maynard because he was looking for options. They weren't there, and he kept bouncing until there was one, and it was Modra.
Modra is about 50 metres from goal. Gets underneath it a little bit. It'll drop in the square. No mark taken. Chance now for Tui. Handball over the top line. Footscray running beautifully out of defence. Kellett, he's lifted. And a good pass finds Charles. Charles is on the defensive side of the centre. He kicks into the open spaces. Grant's got the chance, but Lee's a little bit too quick. Gets back, steadies, has a look upfield. Kick is poor. Over Eccleston's head. Chance for Smith. Smith for Adelaide. Kick in towards the pocket. And the mark is taken by Modra. Campbell just a little late to intercept. Modra 3 goals. Jamison 3 goals. Scott Hodges 2. And Modra the opportunity to kick his fourth. Certainly will get the distance here. He hooks the kick a little bit. Goes across the face of goal. No mark taken. Looking for it was Ingerson. Handball away. Lip tap. Across his body into the pocket and Campbell. No risks being taken by Tony Campbell there. Bangs it over the boundary line. Graham Corns having a good look at the action. It's a long way away from the coach's box down there in that right forward pocket.
Footscray have kicked 3 goals to 1 in this third quarter. The margin is just 14 points. Liberatore just gets clear. Tregenza thumps it to the goal square. Foster, a big leap.
Should have punched it through. He tried to take the mark. Should have put it through. Safety first from there. Watch this, the big leap. He tried to mark it, Peter Foster. Would have looked spectacular had it have come off.
Oh, well, he's trying to make the competition all his own. It's named after him. Liberatore. Oh, he threw that up in the air, but no whistle. Atkins gets it away. Delray feeds through a little one. McPherson. Oh, good running by Kellett, who's had an excellent quarter. Left footer. A centering kick is good. West in front. Oh, gee, he's looked good. The schoolboy, 17-year-old. Trying to get around the man on the mark. Not a great kick. All Adelaide now. Smart. Support from Smith. And now McGuinness. And a chance for the Crows to settle out of defence. Look at McDermott making space on centre wing. West. Gee, showed some pace to get back there. Negri was too slow. And now they might turn it over near the centre of the ground. Wallace back to Foster. Bounces through to Grant. Taken by Maynard. Grant had a chance then. McDermott to McGuinness, back to McDermott. But they've been under the pump, the Crows, in this quarter.
Oh, free kick. It's against Tui.
Rogers. Too far out to score. Oh, it's a mighty kick. Modra. He's got it again. Right on the siren. And that's a killer for Footscray. He hasn't kicked it yet, but he should for his fourth.
Similar to what Grant did down the other end, the full forward behind the full back. And just using his body. Campbell trying desperately to retain front position and get into a position to take the mark. But Modra had eyes only for the ball and summed up the situation beautifully.
Excellent debut for Modra. He's kicked 4 goals and gives the Crows breathing space. So at 3/4 time here at Waverley Park, Adelaide 11-7-73, leading Footscray 8-4-52. Well, the Bulldogs really threw it to the Crows in that third quarter, and the goal right on the siren by Modra was pretty hard for Footscray to swallow. A 21-point margin. Modra's kicked 4 goals. Jamison has 3, Hodges 2, singles to Marshall and McDermott. And Footscray, half their goals have come from Ballantyne. He's got 4, singles to West, Grant, Pickering and Charles. Coming up on 7 Sport, NASCAR and Oscar Nationals at Calder tomorrow. Check your local guides for details. The action should be fast and furious. The Australian Touring Car Championship round 2 at Sandown tomorrow week. Also check your local guides for telecast times there. Tim Watson and Max Stevens down on the boundary line, boys.
It's true. Terry Wheeler was a bit happier at three-quarter time with the commitment shown by the players during that quarter, although he was very disappointed with that goal that was kicked at right on the three-quarter siren. He wanted Greg Eccleston to tighten up a little bit on his man, and he also spoke to Delray, Ballantyne and Grant, hoping that they'll be able to sort it out between them in the forward line. Max?
Well, Tim, Graham Corns really on the boil in that break then. He said that Adelaide, the hard work that they did in those first 2 quarters went down the drain, and they're really going to have to lift. He said that was definitely Footscray's quarter. Adelaide fell asleep and let them right back into the game. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if in this quarter we see Graham Corns make some maybe needed changes.
Stats in the third quarter reflect the fact that Footscray had the better of the turn.
There's really not much in it when you analyse it much.
Tackles 9-2.
Yes, the breaks are supposed to go in Footscray's way as far as the centre goes, and that's where they're doing well in the centre breaks.
So the last quarter about to start with Adelaide leading by 21 points, 11-7 to 8-4. Early part will set a pattern. Wine tries to get it down towards Stanley. Chipping in his lead, just gets his left foot to the ball. Away go Footscray, up towards centre half forward. Punched away from Grant by Maynard. Ballantyne able to pick it up. Just gets the hand pass away to Atkins. He spotted someone. The kick is ordinary. Wallace is well within scoring distance if it sits. It doesn't. And a good tackle by Pays. Chance now for West. He's hard up against the boundary line. Tries to get it towards Stephen Wallace. The umpire will call for a bounce. And obviously the umpire there sympathetic to the players' endeavours. You could see that nothing was going to happen. So Shane Harris has decided to bounce the ball about 45 metres from the Footscray goal. Charles tries to get it to Liberatore. The little beaver, he's on the bottom of it again. Charles knocks it towards West. He's bundled over, and we'll have a boundary throw in about 40 metres from the Footscray goal. Bulldogs, Don, certainly need to get the first goal.
Yes, Ian, and they've just got to get those little fellas like West continuing as they did in the third quarter.
Grant. Ballantyne just couldn't get boot to ball then, and he and Ball go through for a behind.
He's a frustrating player, Nigel Smart, isn't he? He just never gives anyone space to move in. Everywhere Ballantyne's been, Smart has been within, what, 1 pace of him.
Tasco kicks in. Negri from behind. Footscray front of the pack. Oh, the hand pass given straight to Marshall. Now to McGuinness. Out to centre wing. Wiedemann up the floor acceptances and gave away the free.
2 goers there playing on each other, Steve McPherson and Wiedemann.
Yeah, look out. Dive in after that, Kellett, who had an excellent third quarter. Back to Corcoran. He's kicked to half forward. Charles! Need the first goal, Footscray. Kicked by Charles. Chance for Grant, but it doesn't reach him. Maynard cuts it off.
Useless kick, wasn't it?
It really was, yep.
He didn't really look down the ground.
Bickley, reported in the third quarter. Beautiful pass out to centre wing. Unmarked to Smith. Liptak getting into space, but he goes longer with his kick. Might have gone short to Liptak. Here he is. Tregenza. To full forward. Oh, almost a brilliant mark by Hodges. To either hand pass away. Kellett.
He has been a good player since half-time.
Just gave it straight away to Negri.
Yes, you've got to do more than that in football 1992 style. Pickering could have nearly been given the free kick. Charles caught by Smith. Handball away, McDermott. Swoops on it. Tregenza there to take the hand pass. A very creative player. May nearly kick a goal. No, he had a look. McGuinness outside 50. Short pass in towards centre half forward. The mark is taken by Wiedemann. He's thrown 2 or 3 fierce, effective tackles. Wayne Wiedemann and mad eyes. Oh. You wouldn't want to strike him in a dark lane. Wiedemann, long, raking left foot kick in towards the full forward area, punched away by Wine. Chance now for Corcoran, away to Liberatore. Footscray trying to mount something out that outer side, but a shocker. McDermott pumps Adelaide to within 50 metres. McGuinness marks, and Tony McGuinness will nearly kick a goal from here. She's been a great battler. Tagged early by Wallace. He's had 16 kicks and 4 hand passes, and just covers every single area of Waverley Park. Knows he's got to get a long one in. Nearly gets the distance, and it's hurried over for a rush behind to Adelaide.
And Adelaide about to make a change. Darryl Hart coming on.
11-8 to 8-5. The difference, once again, is 21 points.
Steve McPherson, a couple of options. Eventually goes short to Tui. We have 16 minutes remaining in the game. Corcoran uses his pace to get away. The kick to centre wing was almost chopped off there by Tasker. Now the Bulldogs have a chance. Atkins puts it up wide for Ballantyne. On the first bouncer, beautiful gather, outside 50. Smart, never too far away. Grant, up the ground he goes. Stanley.
And Wiedemann's gone off the ground too, Drew, for Adelaide. There he is on the bench. Hart's come on as his replacement.
They've had a great start to the season. They lost to the Eagles, but have beaten Essendon, Carlton and Collingwood. Dermott comes backwards to Maynard, and he just blazed away and kicked it anywhere. All Footscray. Justin Pickering, 65 metres from goal. Centering kick. Offhands, it goes to McDermott. Over 30 possessions for the skipper. Maynard to Smith. Smith looking for Negri. Holds off his opponent and marks it with the other hand. Advantage.
Advantage is paid. Pays, gets clear, gives it away to Bickley. Bickley runs directly towards goal. Long drop punt kick, punched away. Now a chance for Liptak. Kick off the ground by Liptak. Goes about 6 or 8 metres towards his team's goal. Stanfield held around the neck. And Stanfield will take the free kick for Footscray in the back pocket.
Good effort by Liptak to keep the ball moving.
Footscray will have to take some risks.
Oh.
Kick towards centre wing. Smith beaten for it by Charles. But good work by Smith. Gave Liptak the chance, but the kick floats in towards the full forward area. Mark is taken by Tony Campbell. Plays on and kicks it in towards centre half back. Wind has made good position, and he bumps off Bickley. Pays, it may have been. Now Atkins, kick towards centre half forward. Getting back was Negri. Misjudging it completely. Chris Grant's got it. Left foot kick is magnificent. Right onto the chest of Ballantyne. And that was skillfully done by the 6'4", Chris Grant.
Capital C for class.
My word.
Look at that.
And the only real time that Ballantyne has been able to get some space from Nigel Smart. Ballantyne has kicked forward. Certainly need his 5th. Drop punt kick, floats away. So he's now kicked 4 goals 3 when the Bulldogs badly needed a 6-pointer. Coaching box at Footscray. What can they do?
Tasco runs it in. Negri, punch from behind. Kellett goes off the ground. Liberatore applies the tackle on Maynard. Dead heat, umpire will ball in it.
He's underneath the packs, isn't he, Liberatore?
I don't think I've ever seen a bloke get past Tony Liberatore's tackle.
Terry Wallace there in the Footscray coach's box. And he's a great tackler. Charles climbs over the top of Negri. Out of the air by Tregenza. Liptak. Centre wing. To half forward. Hart. Corcoran got there to make it a contest with him. Corcoran gets it back from McPherson. Good movement of the ball. West. Need plenty of this, boys. Scott West to centre half forward. Oh, good mark by Negri.
He's done well, Negri.
Smith punches the ball for Maynard. He's outnumbered 2 or 3 to 1. Holding the ball, cry the crowd. Umpire says, give it to me.
Scott West could have come to the near side when he had a Footscray player on his own. I think it may have been Steve Wallace, and he decided to bomb away towards centre-half forward where the marking contest was won by Negri. Maybe the young fellow just didn't have quite enough vision there. Ruckman, Negri, big punch by Callett. Chance now, Footscray, Justin Pickering, drop punt kick, this time it's home. Justin Pickering kicks his second goal, and Footscray pulled to within 14 points once again. 74 plays 60, and plenty of time left in this game yet.
We'll see here the big punch coming from Callett. And there it goes from Justin Pickering as Ballantyne goes off and Campbell coming on. That's Adrian Campbell, the full forward.
Well, a bit of a surprise that John Ballantyne has left the ground. He's kicked 4 of Footscray's 9 goals. Wallace out of the middle. Liberatore having a wrestle there. Loses control of it. Smith, short pass goes astray. Liptak gets the hand pass to Bickley. He's kicked to centre-half forward. Foster with Ingerson. Foster let it get behind him. Hart. The hand pass good for McGuinness. Hooks it back with the left. Not far enough. Just brings up the score.
Tony McGuinness, number 11. There's John Ballantyne on the bench for Footscray. He could feel a little disappointed. 11-9 plays 9-6. Campbell comes to the near side. Looking here for Wallace. Wallace can't mark. He got his hands on it. Atkins slips over. Ball at the back. Oh! Bickley and Liptak combined. Down goes Bickley. Tempted kick off the ground by Liptak. Rebounds. Back to Liptak. Now McGuinness. Hooks it across his body. Into the pocket. Oh, nearly a good effort there by young Sanderson. Now chance for Campbell. He's caught with the football, but he's able to get the hand pass away. Steve McPherson's kick off the ground. Pickering gets the handball out. No, it's a throw, he says. How would he have seen from there? Pickering had his back to the umpire. I'd love to have a look at that, because it's such a critical free kick.
Here it is on replay. Pickering. Well, it was a bit of a shovel, wasn't it? Still, I would have played it as a handball, but Bickley, after running into Tui, is all right. The trainers are out with him, but he's all right. His heart lines up.
Such a critical free kick. Hart may capitalise. No, he kicks it across the face. It'll be hurried through for a rush behind of the Adelaide Crows. So Footscray breathe again. 10.5 minutes left. They trail by 16 points.
3 goals can win it for the Bulldogs. They have trailed all night by 9 points at quarter time, 28 at half time and 21 at three-quarter time. And intercepting the kick in is Scott Hodges.
Well intercepted because Wine was on the lead. And that kick was meant for him. Well done, Scott Hodges. He'll kick this.
Kicking from the 50-metre line. Oh, he's got the distance easily. Great kick. He's kicked 3. And that's more breathing space to the Crows.
Hasn't played a bad game, Scott Hodges, across that half-forward line. It just gives them maybe another option if the young fellow can hold down centre-half forward. I know it's a big job.
Well, the beauty is, Ian, he's not quick on the ground, but what he does, he can kick long bombs, as we've seen tonight. He can let them go from 50, and he's very accurate from that distance.
Well, Scott Hodges playing on Bernard Tui. High-priced recruit Bernard Tui from the Sydney Swans, and Hodges has kicked 3 goals. Chance there for Liptak. Now Atkins, nearly run down by Liptak, but he gets his kick away. Up towards half-forward, the mark is taken by Pays under pressure from Liberatore. He plays on quickly. Not a bad little kick either. Found Smith further afield. Smith plays on. Kick towards centre wing. Another Adelaide mark. This time it's Negri in front of Tui. Negri plays on quickly. Tries to get the ball up so they're one out up there on the forward line, and Hodges marks, certainly coming into his own.
They're real workers, this Adelaide side. They'll get in front and they do the basics in football, which never let you down if you continually do it.
Stanley falls over. Can't afford to do that. Jamison crunched by McPherson.
basically they want the ball more than the opposition, don't they?
Well, I suppose if you're first at it and you want it desperately, as Ilya Grigic prepares to come onto the ground. Gee, he showed some form against Melbourne too.
Tui pulled off it. Umpire will ball it up. And what do you think about Adelaide for the season proper? Because this is a good win against Footscray here, because they're on fire, the Bulldogs, and wanted to go all the way and win this.
Charles coming off. Oh, they'll be a danger as they were, especially over in Adelaide. And as soon as they can master this travelling, they'll be a danger side.
Footscray out of defence. That's a push in the back. Adelaide free kick. Advantage comes to McDermott. 34 possessions for McDermott. Jamison, a big lead. Lip tack at the back. It's all over.
He's another guy that probably doesn't get the credit he deserves. Lip tack, he's had 9 kicks and 6 hand passes, but he's an effervescent player around the centre of the ground. Looks as though he may be playing as a ruck rover or a centre player, and certainly runs onto the football pretty well.
Interesting move. They brought the big fellow on, Grigic, to centre half forward. He's got the pace of Charles, so it'll be interesting to see what he does there. We see there Wiedemann warming up too. He's about to come on for Adelaide.
Well, Adelaide, I think Drew mentioned earlier that they've led all night, so if Footscray had pinched it, it would have been an injustice, as Kellett gets the ball up towards half forward for Footscray. Maynard leads Grant in the race for the ball. Kick off the ground will go over for a boundary throw in.
Now that's exactly what I mean about Adelaide. Maynard, there were no frills in his game. He just put himself in front of Grant and went for the ball. And you can always beat a player with class if you play between him and the ball and body.
Now Atkins. Swift hand pass. Kellett up towards full forward. Goes over the back of all players. But Adelaide are first to get back there. Scott Lee doing a good job in that back pocket. Had 9 kicks, coming up for his 10th. And it's effective. It finds McDermott, who's just knocked up getting the football. Had a terrific first quarter. Quiet in the second. But his third and fourth have been pretty good. Pays. Little chip kick. Tregenza at half-back. He's got the pace to run away from Pickering. And he kicks it wide towards the wing where Smith drops what he should have taken. Hand pass on further. Opportunity for Liptak. Still working very, very hard, even though they look as though they've got the game won. The kick towards half forward. McPherson in front of Hart. Hart with persistence will win out. Nearly went for the hand pass. Then he gave it away to McGuinness. McGuinness back onto the left. Now forced to kick with the right. Round towards half forward. Oh, good effort there by Ingerson. I tell you what, he'll get better with experience, this fellow. He kicks Adelaide in towards the forward pocket. Jamison couldn't mark. Hodges left it behind. And Footscray kick it back towards centre half back where Atkins is marked.
Breaks away from former teammate Tony McGuinness. And the kick by Atkins to the centre of the ground. Trouble for Stanley. Comes to the front to West. Adelaide just getting back, filling the holes. Maynard takes the mark.
And Bickley's gone off. Wiedemann coming on.
Footscray have Ballantyne on the bench, the man who's kicked 4 of their 9 goals. And Negri's done pretty well. He's taken 7 marks. Maynard to half forward. Smith works to the front. That was so easy. The Footscray player stationary. Off to Tregenza. Bouncing ball. Down goes Modra. Campbell for Footscray. McDermott, McGuinness, McDermott. Needs a big mark here. Oh look! Huge climb in the mark taken by Modra.
Is that a free kick? That
Jamison
should have been
jumping
a free
early.
kick to that player, or against that player from behind. Was that Jamison?
Jamison.
We'll watch this on replay. Here it is. Look, look. No, he's pushed the player out and has allowed Modra to come through, but still, that's a free kick.
Good spotting, Don. This boy's done all right in his debut.
9 marks, and he's coming up with goal number 5. That is a great debut.
Umpire's very reticent to play those type of free kicks, especially on the forward line, and the player taking one of those speckies. There seem to be 2 rules as far as spectacular marks are concerned, and ordinary marks. We'll watch here Jamison pushing out. Look, but in allowing Modra to take the mark, infringed. But the umpire paid the mark.
We're lucky we've got replays. Adelaide lead comfortably now, 34 points with just under 6 minutes left. 5 goals to Anthony Modra. And we believe that one of the boundary umpires have fallen foul of the conditions here at Waverley, as Kellett kicks Footscray up towards half forward. Grant, that's a free kick. Obvious one there. Maynard, advantage? No. It's going to come back and Chris Grant will take the free kick. 50 metres from goal for the Bulldogs. A chance for Grant to kick his second goal.
Well, the much vaunted high, tall forward line for Footscray was a bit of a fizzer tonight. The Valentine was good, but Campbell made no contribution at all.
I think if you put enough pressure on the defenders when the ball's coming out, it comes up so slowly. And the Adelaide defence have had it probably a little bit better than the Footscray defence. Grant's kick towards full forward. Nearly a mark there to Negri. It's hurried over for a rush behind. I think that's the key, certainly in modern day football. If you allow your midfielders or your defenders to come out with not too much pressure on them, they deliver the ball to the forwards comfortably, and accordingly the opposition defence is under enormous pressure. But if Adelaide, who have done a terrific job, their discipline has been enormous, and they've made it difficult for Footscray all over the ground.
This fellow's playing well. He's the centre half back. Look how far he gets into the forward line. That's Smith.
And Smart, the full back, was up near centre wing, so Smith and Smart went for a bit of a gallop then.
Well, then you ask the question about the Footscray forwards not working hard enough, chasing those players down the ground.
Never looks too happy, Graham Corns, but he's got to be happy with this performance. 33-point margin over Footscray, who'd shown all the signs in their games leading up to this. Liberatore goes back to Foster. Grant outnumbered 2-1. Leaps over the top of McDermott. Fights hard for it and wins the free kick. Chris Grant, about 18 kicks to goal from there. Towards centre wing. Delray with one hand. A couple of good marks when he first came on. Too slow, Negri. Was robbed of the ball by Stanley. Maynard. Delray chips in. To beat McDermott to that one. But he's just given it straight away. Been very impressed with Lee.
Campbell should have kept going on that occasion.
Kicked by Lee. Any amount of teammates there. Maynard takes it. 4 minutes remaining. And it's a 33-point margin to the Adelaide Crows. By Rod Maynard. Liptak number 27. Kellett. Tui. Stanley into Liberatore. That was a kick and hope. All Adelaide. Now Smith, who was up at half forward flank a moment ago, and Smart, who was at centre wing, get back there to combine.
Gee, Adrian Campbell has just had one of those nights that he'd want to forget. Tregenza marks, plays on over the top to McDermott. He's had his umpteenth possession, Chris McDermott, and on nearly every occasion he's been within 5 metres of his opponent. Kick in short now. Ingerson in the pocket. High bomb. Modra!
Well, we can't take that one off him. A specky.
We'll be saying that a few times this year, I think. What a terrific mark by Anthony Modra. He's kicked 5 goals.
And here he is. Hodges in front, and there he is. Gee, he's capable of getting up, isn't he?
I guess
knee
these
right
conditions-
onto the shoulder of Campbell. Look at that. Oh, I wish I could have taken one of those, Ian.
Just one.
Modra gets his 6th. 6 goals to Anthony Modra in a very, very promising performance. 15-10 plays 9-7.
Some of these moves off the Footscray bench you'd have to question. Wind, who's rucked all days now at full forward, and they've got Valentine off the ground. And Smith's leading Wind down the ground. Campbell hasn't had a good night, but he's in the forward pocket as well.
Huge debut by Modra. 6 goals.
They're going to take him off, I think. Yes, they're taking him off. Coming on is Brenton Sanderson.
Negri beaten in the middle by Grigic. Wallace just pokes that high. That's not great for the forwards. The Crows coming out. Lee's been perfect with everything he's done. Here's Marshall. Marshall again. And the ball was just out. And we'll have a throw in.
You know, Stephen Wallace does such a good job in tagging and getting lots of possessions, but his kicking lets him down. That kick then, when he was probably in the clear, was really just an up and under and gave the forward no chance whatsoever.
Here's Lee again to centre wing.
Oh, good effort.
That was courageous. Steve Wallace. Back to centre half forward. Delray broke away from his man Tasco. And Danny Delray too far out to score. Winders it full forward now. Punched by Smith. Tregenza. And the speedy wingman, 33 possessions. It's a good night. McDermott. Moore, 37.
Only mistake he's made all night.
Kick by Atkins. Straight to Maynard. Back to Smith. Measures that pass off well. Tregenza again.
Tell you what, he's got a few touches. 33.
Best thing ever.
And he does it unobtrusively. Just keeps running up and down that wing, doesn't he? Near side, far side.
Just playing keepings off at the moment, and here he is building on the stats.
They're rubbing salt into the wound now, aren't they? Having fun.
Tregenza again. Foster. Haven't seen too much of Peter Foster. Grant running away from McGuinness. Oh, good effort.
Great effort.
With a bounce and a run. Here's Lee once more. He has been miserly back there, and look at that kick.
And well done. He gives Tregenza to pick up the opportunity to pick up his 30th kick. 11 marks, 7 hand passes. That's his 31st kick up towards half forward, and that's a good mark taken by Sanderson at right centre wing. Gives the handball away to the captain. You'll get a game again next week, son. Kick into the forward pocket. The mark has been taken by Marshall. Marshall too far out to score. He'd be 2 kicks from goal. He's certainly put it to within goal scoring distance now. Jamieson from behind, but the mark is taken by Stanfield for Footscray on the last line of defence. He tries to get the kick wide towards the wing on this near side, and a good effort taking that mark is Danny Delray. Pass wide, finds Wallace, and that's the siren to put Footscray out of their misery and out of the Foster's Cup. Adelaide have won this game and will proceed to the semi-finals. Adelaide 15-10-100 have defeated Footscray 9-7-61, a difference of 39 points in favour of the Adelaide Crows.
Excellent performance. They led by 28 at half-time. Footscray really threw it to them and got within about 10 points during the third quarter. So to come away and win by 39 was a top effort by the Adelaide Crows. Chris McDermott, and that's good to see with a young opponent, Corcoran, an Adelaide boy, Jane Corcoran, and McDermott, a battle-scarred warrior, and was great tonight.
I tell you what, he is a terrific sportsman, Chris McDermott. He plays it hard, he gives the bumps, he cops them, and that is terrific sportsmanship. I think he's a wonderful leader of the Adelaide Crows, on the field and off the field. See, they look pretty satisfied with themselves, and I guess so they should be. You mentioned about Footscray's performance against Melbourne, where they won by, 7 goals, and we thought they were on a bit of a roll. They'd set themselves for the Foster's Cup, and these guys, I think I heard Donnie Scott say at half-time or three-quarter time, it was difficult to find outstanding players. I mean, statistically, you could pick 2 or 3 out, but it was a great team effort.
Well, we're just giving the skipper a rap, and here he is with Max Stevens.
Certainly was a team effort. Your efforts tonight, sensational, but as the commentators said, all round a great effort by Adelaide.
Yeah, that's certainly what we've been aiming for the last couple of weeks. The Carlton game, the Collingwood game, topped us off for tonight. Both hard and aggressive games, and that's what wins footy.
Tony, you had sorry, Tony. We've got a bit of an audience here. You had a guy playing at full forward today that deserves a bit of a pat on the back.
Oh, Tony Modra's effort was fantastic, but the other blokes up there certainly helped him, and the way the ball came in a few times was very good, but certainly a good start for him, and we're certainly looking for big things from him.
Chris, definitely Adelaide's a great night side.
Well, only so many games played at night, you've got to be a good side, every week in, week out, and that's certainly what we're aiming for.
Well, I'll let you go. Well done with your performance tonight.
Chris McDermott there with Max Stevens, and repeating 15-10-100 the Crows to 9-7-61 Footscray. And the Tony Modra we were talking about kicked 6 goals for the Crows. We'll be back soon.